I have a great set of nightstands that I feel just need a bit of a refresh. Good bones, solid wood. These are high quality nightstands. So I start by removing all the hardware. I have my new handy dandy electric screwdriver, so it makes quick work of this. I'm loving that thing. Time to give these a good cleaning. I'm using Green Easy's Eco Clean. It's a great, just good cleanser. I just make sure to go back over it with a damp rag and remove any residue. I get lots of questions as to why do I clean before I'm getting ready to sand. You just never know. Years of furniture polish, dirty hands, greasy hands, whatever, it builds up on here, which means it builds up on my sandpaper, and I don't want that. Now that everything's clean and dry, I'm gonna scuff sand everything. I'm gonna use my orbital to do all of the flat surfaces just because it's quick, it's easy. This is 120 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to just, as you see, move around, do all the flat areas. And I'm scuff sanding because this has a factory shiny finish. That's not great for paint adhesion, so I want to make sure I scuff everything. This is what they look like after that. Now I'm going to go to a sanding sponge and go back over the entire piece of all the things I did not do with the orbital. So this is the curved trim. It will be the edges of the drawers because they are a little bit curved. Behind the drawers, just all the areas that I couldn't do with the orbital, I go back with this. And again, I just want to make sure everything is good and scuffed. These do not have a lot of damage, so there isn't a lot of dents and dings that I'm trying to sand out. I'm really just scuffing everything up. It just gives some bite to the primer and to the paint. So all the way around with every little piece of anything round. And even though I'm using a good adhesive primer, this might be even a little overkill, but it's my process and it works. I'm successful with it, so I just keep doing it. But because this doesn't require a lot of tools, that's why I feel this is a really good beginner-friendly type of makeover. I mean, I used an orbital, but that certainly could have been done by hand. This is obviously done by hand. Great pieces if you're just starting out. This is what they look like after they're all scuffed. Time to get all that dust off of there. I have a microfiber cloth that's just barely damp, perfect for just grabbing onto that sanding dust. I get everything all cleaned up because I don't want there to be any dust that gets caught in my primer. And then because I'm going to spray these, dust just flies all over the place if you leave it in there. So I have to get every little inch of this clean. The inside of the drawers are actually spotless, but they were super dusty. So I cleaned them earlier with the other product, but just making sure again. Into the spray tent we go. I'm applying primer. I use Stix primer here that is tinted gray. Now this could easily be done with a roller or a brush. When you do pieces like this that are so flat, they don't have a lot of details to them. These are really super to do with a roller. I'm in my spray tent because I'm spraying a couple of other pieces the same color, so I just try to do as many things as I can at once to maximize my time. The sprayer actually is a little cumbersome in this area. This may have actually been easier inside here with a roller or a brush. It's hard to get the sprayer inside there. And yes, I paint with the drawers in, so I get lots of questions about that. I will go back in later and touch up the edges. And with these particular drawers, they're on side rails, like a ball bearing type of guide. And I'm actually going to remove the entire drawer, tape those off, and then paint the edge of the cabinet that's behind the drawer. You'll see if you are using a sprayer, I'm overlapping each pass. I do it by about 50%, so it looks like I'm just painting this tiny bit, but the pattern's pretty wide. And if you want a nice smooth finish, this is a must. You have to go back over this and sand your primer, sand in between coats. It just makes everything so buttery smooth. Now that I sanded, and I actually went back with that dry or the wet microfiber cloth, removed all the dust, and here we go with paint. This is Farmhouse Cosmic White. Again, I'm painting another piece in the same color that was a custom for a client. So while I'm painting one, I might as well paint more, and I kind of grabbed something from my inventory like, oh, these could be white, because if I'm going to set up the tent and get busy, well, I'm going to paint as many as I can. So here's a good view of that, how wide it's actually painting, but you can see I'm only moving about 50% of that. Buttery smooth. So I've removed the drawers. I taped off the guides that go on the side and was able to just spray the edge there. And after 2 coats of paint, 2 coats of top coat, I installed new hardware. Isn't that cute? And we'll take one quick look back at where we were, and here's the end result. I hope you like it. Follow along for more.